Alright everybody, welcome back to the second part of Let's Play Ultima Online. I am your host, Baruch Strahler. I'm gonna today run you through the menu bar and its various options. Okay, first off, yesterday we went through the setting the legacy items on your bar. This was a quick setting that I just flashed through because I wanted to have my chat screen or my chat options in the legacy version and also my backpack in the legacy style. If you want something else, we'll run through that later. We're going to start with the first button, which is this one, which can actually minimize your bar into the start, toggle the war menu and the backpack, or open it up. I've always got it open because it just adds a little more quick responses to the entire thing. First, toggle War and Peace mode. You click on that, you go into War mode. If you got music on, drastic music comes up and apparently you're ready for battle. If you now arm a weapon or disarm a weapon if you're a wrestler, double clicking on anything that's blue will start a combat session with that thing, with that person or that item or creature. Or so if you have it on peace, you can double click as much as you want. For instance, on a trainer, he will give you a mission. For now, that's not really important. So what we do first, so that's the war peace mode. There's a difference in how the mouse reacts to certain situations. The character, which is your paper doll. You click on it, it disappears. Click on it again, it reappears. On your paper doll you got what kind of armor pieces you wear: neck armor, arm armor, right hand, a ring, long pants or trousers, or leggings, leather leggings, or chain leggings, or steel plate legs, or whatever you like. The thing is with this system, if you wear pants like cloth pants that I've got on now, you can't really put any armor on. So before you go anywhere, you have to unequip the leggings and put on the new ones. Right now he's wearing a skirt, so I'm going to take that off and toss it. Same with the casa, because I think that looks ridiculous. So I zoom in on the character, which is something I can do with the scroll wheel on your mouse, which is a nice and nifty option in the enhanced client, because I got a huge vision screen of what I want to see. Or I can pull it real close and then see my character with very minimal facial and items. But this has already been enhanced in the last patch, I think, because before you couldn't see anything about the features that your character had. So walk away from my dropped clothing, so you can unequip the clothes, the shirt, and he's running around in his underwear. If that's your cup of tea, then by all means go for it. The second, skill bar, skill list. Arms lore. You can go through it. You can see the requirements for arms lore and how it taps in. So if you want to go through those, just pause the film and read it properly. I'll just line them up, read them up, and close them again after a second or two. And that's just your miscellaneous bar, because now you get to the combat situation. Combat, and then archery, and fencing, focus, healing. Of course, all these skills are lined up for at start a total of 700 skill points. Now you start off with just about 120 used. Since I've been running around already a bit, I think I've raised a bit of focus to get my 24 points used, because those are the 4 points it counts. Where was I? No, it doesn't matter. So tactics increases combat damage as wrestling, which is if you're not holding a weapon and you still want to be able to defend yourself, you might want to go for that. And then tossing, which throwing is actually a skill only usable by gargoyles. My apologies. Trade skills. Alchemy. Alchemy, which is a skill that you can create potions with. Explosive potions. Get yourself a mortar and pestle and you'll find out what you can do with it. I didn't get one. What I like to do is get a mortar and pestle and then create night sight potions for when I go to dungeons. Cooking, a nice role-playing skill, but very little basic use. Fletching, inscription for scribing your own scrolls, which you can use to cast spells. The thing is, with a scroll, if you have magery up to 100%, the level 8 scrolls, actual spells from the spellbook, are about 80% casting capability, which means you still fizzle 20%. What the scroll does, if you use a scroll, it takes down 2 levels of your skill, or of the actual skill. So a level 8 scroll would be used with a level 8 or level 6 ability, which gives you a 100% chance every time. However, every scroll weighs 1 stone, and it's going to weigh up if you want to use a scroll tosser. Lumberjacking, which will get you wood, all kinds of wood. Mining, get you all kinds of metals. Tailoring, for cloth and leather armor. And tinkering to create all those tools for crafting your other stuff. So if you want to make a crafter, make sure you got tinkering and make sure you got arms lore. Those 2 are basically the ones you need to get anything else done. Magic. My world. Well, not really. But this is what I'm going to be using, Bushido and Chivalry, so I got 2 skills in the magic realm. So Bushido, which is the skill for the samurai, and Chivalry, which is the skill for the paladin. Eval Intelligence, which also does something, bonus to spell damage. So Magery, which is basically the skill that's attached to evaluate intelligence. Spell Resisting, which is a skill quite useful to resist paralyzation or poisons caused by magical means. Meditation, which restores mana quicker than not having it. Necromancy. Necromancy is the art of dead magic, which means you can control the undead, or the dead, whichever you prefer how to call it. Ninjutsu. Nice skill, but basically you need stealth and hiding to make it work right. Spell Weaving, which is a skill, or a spell, yeah, well, a skill. You can only get that opened through means of 2 quests, I believe. Spirit Speak, the skill that is attached to Necromancy, because without Spirit Speak, Necromancy will be far less effective. Mysticism, quite a useful skill to use, to have, and to work with. It takes a long time to learn, and it takes up various kind of reagents, which we will get through in a later situation. Imbuing. Now this is a skill on its own, and you can craft very powerful items using this skill. So for wild, you've got animal lore, which allows you to how much power your pet has, and if you're a grandmaster, it allows you to target an animal or monster, so you can see how good it is or how powerful it is, so you can decide whether or not you set your own pet on it. Taming, a very powerful skill. The higher you get, the more powerful creatures you'll be able to tame. I believe it's around 105, which is way better than Grandmaster. You can get yourself a greater dragon. That's a very powerful creature. Fishing. Well, fishing, pretty basic, pretty straightforward. The most useful thing is the SOS messages, the message in a bottle. You can get a whole lot of gold out of that. Treasure hunters tend to keep a secondary character with fishing on it, so they can do that. Herding allows you to create a herd for yourself, make them follow you or follow each other or follow someone else. And the higher the skill is, the higher the type of being you can actually get you to follow you. So at GM level, Grandmaster level, you should be able to get a dragon to follow someone else around. Very dangerous in that case, because dragons are not to be trifled with, because they are very creatures that will eat your head. Tracking skill. If you're good at it, you can track animals a long way out, or people, or monsters, or even hidden characters you can choose to follow. You will then find out where they are. Veterinary, the ability to heal your pet. And above 80, with 80 animal lore at the minimum, allows you to resurrect your pets. Now, animal lore, animal taming, and veterinary altogether have additional slots in your what you call that, the animal stables. Normally, you got two pets to be able to be stored in there. Second, hidden detecting hidden creatures or people. This is nice, especially when you get a house and you want to restock your vendor, or you want to place something in your house and you haven't locked it down yet. If you're not using this skill when you do that, there might be a chance, however remote, that there's a thief and he will take it before you get a chance to lock it down. Detecting hidden in your house will work 100%. I don't really see a direct use for it, but to each his own, and some others might. Hiding. The ability to hide in the shadows. Well, if you know your RPGs, you'll know hiding and how it works. Lockpicking. There will be locked chests, especially treasure chests, or chests left by other creatures in dungeons, or people that want stuff traded but not stolen. They lock the chest, and lockpicking will actually have a chance to open it up. The higher that skill, the higher the chance to open a more difficult level. Poisoning, allowing you to put poisons on some bladed weapons, or in food or drinks that you want people to have and get a nasty surprise with. The most commonly used version is on a poison weapon, which allows you with a secondary skill or a primary skill, an additional weapon skill, to apply a portion of the poison to the body, which makes healing a little more difficult. So how higher that is, the more useful it is. Also, poisoning, if you get that high up and you want to be a poisoner mage with their poison field spell, or just a simple poison spell, if you get Grandmaster Poisoning, those spells will be a whole lot tougher. Okay, remove trap, allowing you to remove a trap from a container. So suppose you go for treasure hunting. There's treasure maps, all sorts. You go for treasure hunting and you find the container, you dig it up, it will be locked and it will be trapped. So what you need to do is get it unlocked and then get it removed by the trap. There's another method using the magic skill, but we're not going into that now. Okay, snooping allows you to look in people's backpacks or in pack animals which are not yours. Useful skill if you follow it up by stealing. Stealing, well, there you go. So what do you want to do? Look in someone's skill, look in someone's pack, see that nice little ring that you like, try and grab it. That's how it works. Stealth, combined with hiding, the higher the level skill, the higher the level of stealth, the further you can go without being spotted. The Bard, music. I'm going to start with Discordance. Discordance allows you to make your target a little weaker. There'll be, depending on the skill, I think up to 20% weaker than what they normally are. Very useful again against dragons. Primary skill for that would be musicianship. You take an instrument, just double click it and you'll train musicianship. Peacemaking. Very useful if you have a very powerful creature coming at you and your peacemaking skill is high enough, you can just cast that peacemaking skill on that thing and there's a good chance it'll stop attacking you and just be peaceful. Provocation, which is very useful and very commonly used for treasure hunters. If they have the barding skills, they will provoke the creatures that are coming to defend the chests onto themselves, onto each other. Very useful skill. The custom bar. This is what you can do, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the skills that I'm going to require and add them to the custom bar. So I got swordsmanship, which I want to add. Tactics I want to add. Parrying I want to add. No, I don't want to add parry. So remove it from custom. So you go to the custom tab, right click it, and then you can remove it from there. The magic, I want a Bushido and chivalry added. So, and because I will be a starting character, I will put healing also on that tab. So now I got anatomy, healing, swordsmanship, tactics, anatomy, Bushido, and chivalry. Now, these are all nice skills, but to make it all a little better, I want to put spell resisting on them too. Now, all the other skills that I do not use or do not want to use, I want to set to lower. You can either have them locked, level up, so if you use the skill it goes up, or lower it to get any skill points that you have to be redistributed over the other skills that you have lifted. Anatomy I need. Archery I don't. Fencing I don't. Focus I do not. Mace fighting I don't. Parrying I didn't want. Wrestling and throwing. Trade skills all go down because I don't need any of those on this character. I prefer this because in the end, when you have the skills and you have them all set, what you want to do is make sure that you only train those that you actually want trained. So now, for instance, for trade I have lumberjacking lowered. Since axe fighting, axes are sword type fighters, sword type weapons, you will automatically raise lumberjacking if you have that raised, if you're set to raise, which is something I don't want at this time. So now all the skills are set to down except for the ones that I have selected. My preferred course of action at this point is to show the tracker, which gives you a little bar here with how high the points are in comparison to what they can be. So the set of percentages allows you to show the caps, which is 100% possible with, well, chivalry and Bushido now at the highest levels. And then you close the skills. Those are the skills. Quest journal. I don't have any running quests yet, so that will be dealt with in the next episode. Virtues. There's 8 virtues that we can choose from. The virtues will also just happen to be used when we get to it. There's valor, honor, compassion, justice, honesty, spirituality, sacrifice, and humility. Now most of these skills or virtues can be trained by one mean or another. Guild. Because I'm not in a guild, what you can do is uncheck the ignore guild invites, or you can spend 20,000 gold pieces and create your own guild. I'm not going to create my own guild at this time, so we'll get to that in a bit as well. Chat options. There's a couple of possibilities that you can go to. If you're on a trial account, you can only go into the help channel, and if you want to go to general, you go to the general channel, which is shown here in the chat screen, in which channel you are. If you're not sure, you can just go back to chat and you will see that you're always in the general chat. If people start talking and you don't want them to, you can go to another channel or create your own. And like this, if you create a channel and just give it a name, testing, okay, and you have joined the testing channel. So I will leave the channel and I'll go to general chat. So back in the general chat. The map, which actually toggles you between the atlas and the world map, which you can zoom in, zoom out as you see fit. This button also does the same as this little button. I prefer the atlas and then center on the player, which means wherever I walk, the world moves with me. Then there's the main menu. Logout. Well, goes without saying, it logs you out of the game. Exit game completely shuts down all of the screens and you will not able to log in until you restart the game. The user settings. Graphics. You can go to full screen, you can set your full screen size. I use my standard screen monitor rate. You have your frame rates, show the window frames. The brightness you can go up or down as you see fit. I have no idea what it was. Show foliage. The foliage actually shuts you down for the foliage on the trees or the masts on the ships. Shadows on the mobs. Well, mobiles, which means animals and anything that moves. If you have screen tearing issues, you can turn this off and on. Circle of transparency it's a useful option sometimes. It just creates a little circle around you and you can go into a building and you can see around yourself without having to break the wall. So there's a couple of other movies available that can teach you about most of these items, so I'm not going to run through those. Legacy targeting, I have to switch that off. Then there's the user settings for the filters. Here you can set people you want to ignore. Well, these are people spamming most times something that about buying gold in the game. I don't care about that, so I usually just shut it down. And then there's the backpack button. Opens up your backpack or closes it. You can see here by the blue mark around it if it's open. If it's not blue, it's closed. So it's open. Open the little backpack that I got, the extra pack. And there you go. That's most of your menu bar. So until next time, folks. Catch you later.